You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
All right, you guys. So salute everybody tapping on in. It's now being reported on the Memphis, Dallas, and Atlanta news that the indictment, I believe, has been released, and rapper Pooh Sheisty and multiple other co-conspirators have been arrested by the feds, and apparently Pooh Shiesty could be facing life in prison for the alleged robbery of rapper Gucci Mane and multiple other people. I'll get right to the press conference. So you guys smash the like button, share the video, like the video, y'all come in, and we'll get right into it.
I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint. And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims. The charging document outlines some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendants' roles in the federal offense. This is as follows: electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least 2 of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense. in this case came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice. I want to thank the FBI Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, the FBI's Memphis Resident Agency and Nashville Field Office, the Memphis Safe Task Force, the Dallas Police Department, the United States Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, Michael Dunovit, and AUSA Greg Wagner, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Texas, my dear friend and colleague Jay Combs, and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Tennessee, including my colleague Braden Busek, for their outstanding contributions in this multi-jurisdictional investigation and prosecution. I'd also like to highlight the extraordinary work. None of this happens without the extraordinary work of our AUSAs in this office, and I'm here to say we have the best AUSAs in the entire country. That includes AUSAs Robert Withers, Claire Demers, and my violent crime chief, Jeremy Fugate. This case really underscores the importance of standing up for crime victims, no matter who they are or where they come from, and the incredible collaborative, investigative partnerships that we have, not only in the Northern District of Texas, but across the country, and we are all working together to make our country safer. So thank you for being here today, and I'll answer some questions after my colleague here speaks. But now I'm going to turn it over to him, and this is Jeremy Wright, who's the Dallas FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. As Ryan said, my name is Jeremy Wright, Assistant Special Agent in charge for FBI Dallas. As United States Attorney Raybold said, we're here today to announce the arrest of several individuals in the Memphis and Nashville, Tennessee areas, as well as one here in Frisco, Texas. These arrests are the result of a violent kidnapping of 3 individuals here in the Dallas area. The majority of those arrested did travel from Memphis to Dallas to commit that offense. Our office collaborated with multiple law enforcement agencies and other FBI offices to carry out this investigation that ultimately led to these arrests. So I'd like to thank the Dallas Violent Crimes Task Force, Dallas Police Department, the Memphis Safe Task Force, Memphis, Tennessee Police Department, and the Shelby County, Tennessee Sheriff's Department for helping with this investigation. Violent crime does remain a top priority for the FBI, and we dedicated significant resources from here in Dallas FBI, Nashville, Little Rock, Birmingham, and Atlanta FBI offices to investigate and successfully arrest these individuals. We remain committed to investigating violent crimes like these. No matter who you are, we will fight every day alongside our partners to make our communities safer. So, thank you.
And we have time for some questions. If you would just identify who you're with and your name would be helpful. Yes, sir.
The FAA.
Hi, Kevin.
It may be in the release that you're going to send us, but can you be more specific to who these victims are and a specific location of this studio that you were talking about?
I'll answer the last part first. Yes, it'll be in the complaint, and we're happy to get you a copy of that. It's now unsealed. It was off Dallas Parkway in Dallas, Texas, a music studio. That's what's identified in the complaint. As far as victims go, we won't get into at this time who the victims are or not.
Case with the Dallas Morning News. Can you describe the injuries suffered by the 3 victims?
So one of the victims, and this is actually in the complaint, and we'll get you a copy as well. There's a photograph of the injury. It looks like there's some abrasions on the neck and arm.
You are still seeking one suspect, you say?
One of the individuals that's been charged has not had his initial appearance yet, but agents are actively working to locate and bring him to court.
And I wanted to touch on that, actually. Eric Bushman with KRLD. Since there's one person you're still trying to get to come in, I guess it's on the arrest for his initial appearance, you had said that you're trying to check out. Because you're going public with this, are you afraid at all that that's going to hinder eventually getting that individual in?
Agents are working to find him. The complaint has already been unsealed, and a number of these defendants have had their public hearing already, their initial appearance, and And so it's already out there that this individual has been charged. And so that information is in the public record. But I trust that the agents will be able to identify this person and find them and bring them to justice. Of course, that person can turn themselves in immediately.
Two questions. This is Chase with the Dallas Light. So the initial incident happens on January 10th. We're here in April. Can you describe the timeline and the length of time, why we're talking about this now? Because it sounds like these arrests happened recently. And then the second part of that question, did all of the arrests happen yesterday, or were they happening over the span of time that we're talking about?
Yeah, good questions. I'll start with the last part. 8 of the 9 happened yesterday, and then we're still working on one more. And that was, again, a lot of those happened in Memphis. One happened in Nashville, and we're working now with our Georgia counterparts to get the last person brought to justice. Do you want to ask another question and follow up to that?
Actually, I forgot the answer. We'll come back to the answer.
Okay, and remind me of your first part, sir.
We had the initial incident on January 10th,
Yep.
here April 2nd. Can you describe and kind of characterize why, that amount of time passed before they were arrested?
Well, that was one of the reasons I wanted to list off some of the evidence that has been uncovered to date. A lot of this was subpoena work, search warrant work, and things like that in order to develop the investigation. And so the agents here with me, the agents out in the field, it takes a little bit of time to identify who did this offense and build a case so that we feel comfortable bringing the charges. So actually that's pretty quickly for a federal case of this gravity and this nature. And so I'm very proud of the investigative work, and it will continue from this office as well as our FBI and our local police department.
If convicted of these charges, these arrests, how serious are these crimes? What type of these people face?
They're facing a range, so there's no mandatory minimum in this case. It's a range of punishment, and it'll be in the province of the judge, whoever gets the case. But it could be from 0 all the way to life imprisonment. And as you know, a lot of what will guide what's called the sentencing guidelines will be the individual's previous criminal history, the fact that one of these individuals committed the offense while on home confinement, so actually serving a federal offense. Assuming that individual is convicted, that will be an aggravating factor for sure.
Real quick, I was curious, I know you're being quiet so far on the victims here, but could you at least tell us, outside of them being local to Dallas, were they aspiring artists, are they known locally or even nationally? Can you at least tell us that?
I'm not going to get into the victim stuff at this time. I think that more will be coming out there that will help clarify, but I'm not at liberty at this stage of the investigation to disclose that.
And then can you describe the operation to conduct all of those arrests? I imagine they were in different places. Maybe they all happened around the same time. I'm not sure.
I'm going to hand that one off to my colleague here, Jeremy Wright.
Yeah, thank you for the question. It requires a lot of partnerships across multiple jurisdictions to be able to conduct simultaneous arrests in a manner, to not alert other folks and to do it safely. So really it's just a coordinated effort. And fortunately, we have great relationships here locally with Dallas PD and our other partners, as well as other FBI offices have the similar relationships. Memphis is unique. They have the Memphis Safe Task Force there currently, which was kind of a help in a lot of this. So it's really just coordination and pre-planning.
And a follow-up to that. So all of the arrests in Memphis, or?
No, Memphis, we had one in Frisco, Texas yesterday morning. The rest were in Memphis. And as the U.S. Attorney said, we're actively pursuing the final arrest.
Yeah. Did you have another question, sir? I think that becomes public record, but I'm not sure. If I could follow up with you right after, Catherine, if you would get to make sure that we get that information over there. Thank you for coming. If there are any further questions, I just want to underscore the importance here in Northern District of Texas of vigorously prosecuting violent crime. And a couple days ago, I did a press conference in Fort Worth, Texas, but it just highlights the collaboration. The state, local police are some of our best friends and best partners. Chief Como is a dear friend and partner of this office and has been fantastic for us. working with some of the best in the business, the FBI, and I'm just really honored to stand shoulder to shoulder with the men and women in my office. So again, we look forward to prosecuting this case vigorously. And if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to Catherine Miller.
So it's a wrap, bro. They don't pack these dudes, and it's bigger than what we thought. From what everybody was saying on the internet, I didn't say anything. I sat back the whole time and just watched it play out until the police came out here and said what they said. But it's bigger than what everybody was saying online. They're saying it is 9 people, 9 co-conspirators. They say they got 8 of them locked up now, and that one of them still on the run. They're saying that it's 9 of them cats, man. And this is just diabolical work right here, because when you really think about it, you got that many cats that they're saying that's you know what I'm saying, involved in this situation, and they're saying it was a multitude of people. So it wasn't just Gucci Man. They're saying it was a multitude of people that got robbed, and they're saying these guys went on social media and showed the freaking jury online. Y'all smash the like button, share the video, and like this video as y'all coming on here. They're saying that they showed and flashed the jury online after they robbed them. You can't be, you cannot have that less of sense. Bro, this is crazy. And then they want to call the internet guys snitches when these dudes are going on the internet telling themselves. There's no way you commit a crime with a cell phone in 2026. You rent the car. Your people rent the cars that's going to these places. They don't got y'all on trackers. Listen to what he said. I want y'all to listen to what he said. This is unbelievable work, man. This dude was on home confinement, just got out the feds. You were looking at a $15 million deal musically. All you had to do was try to get out your contract. You could have went the route of trying to get a lawyer, man. Bro, then they saying the father planned the whole thing. They're saying that the father planned the whole thing, man. The son is 26 years old. Star rapper. And they're saying the father planned the whole thing. The father's rented the car and all of this other stuff. And they got their whole thing tracked through the license plates, going state to state. This is why I be trying to tell y'all. All these little stoplights and shit, people be thinking them cameras don't work, that all that shit work. They don't got fingerprints, they say, in the studio. The word is they got video, but we don't know if they got video. This is diabolical, man. Smash the like button as y'all come in here, man. You got all of this stuff going on, man. You were one of the hottest rappers coming out of prison to where everybody was looking to see what you was going to put out. And now you going, bro, they saying he facing life. You 26 years old, you facing life. That's crazy, bro. The father, they probably going to hit him with life. That's wild, man. They said the man up to AK-47 on this dude. That is crazy, man. And I hear people clowning Gucci Man. What Gucci Man supposed to do if he thought they were supposed to be meeting on the up and up, and then he get ambushed? What are you supposed to do? Nigga, you gonna get that shit up too. Anybody that you think I'm supposed to be my man, and this is on the up and up. I'm gonna say it again. If you supposed to be my man, or we signed with each other, right? And you want to meet with me, and we supposed to have a meeting on the up and up. He wasn't thinking dude was gonna come in that joint like that. I'm hearing a lot of people clown Gucci for getting robbed, bro. Anybody come in there and you got 8-9 people in there that pull up them things on you, bro. You just gonna take that loss. Motherfuckers acting like they gonna be Superman, bro. You're not finna be Superman in that situation. You gonna take that loss and leave alive. And then Gucci Man, he don't even have to. You know what I'm saying? People say, well, what about the security? What is security supposed to do if you got 8-9 people on you? First, they was making it seem like it was 2 or 3 people. Man, listen to what the feds just said. The feds said they had 9 people.
I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint.
Kidnapped and robbed, done. and you on federal probation. You was bro. So they said, so everybody that was clowning Gucci, you can't really clown them. You got 9 people on your helmet. What you supposed, you gonna take that L. You ain't fitting to move crazy. You gonna take that loss. And then they talking about his security. If he got 1 security guard with him, think about this. If you got 1 security guard with you and he armed, what he gonna do if niggas pulling out choppers? He not finna do nothing with no handgun, man. Y'all have to learn this type of stuff, man. That security guard gonna get taken down too. Then they say they damn near choked the nigga out. So what you supposed to do if you got all these hammers pointing? You got like 8 or 9 people. The door barricaded and they got a chopper that's barricading the door. They probably got 2 or 3 people on your security guards. No way. It would have been a bloodbath for you to try to crash out. You take that L, man. You take that L and you live to see another day. You take that L and you live to see another day. I told y'all this.
Numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Sheisty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon.
He's naming all the names right there. He naming all the names right there. And they were saying that Big 30's on the run. They said, no, they got Big 30. They said it ain't Big 30. He said it's a dude named Terrence Rogers that's still on the run. Bro, this is wild work right here, man. There ain't no way, bro. There ain't no way you got $15 million a deal that's on the table and you don't use a lawyer to try to get out your contract.
The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting, purportedly.
That's game over right there. They're saying Pooh Sheisty, that's his real name, arranged the meeting. So they're going to call it an ambush, kidnapping, robbery, assault with a deadly weapon. Bro, that's life. That's life. And you got priors, that's life.
To discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover.
Game over. He said coordinated. That means that they got videotape. To see it coordinated, that means they knew what they was going to do when they went in there, man. It's over with, man. Game over, man. And then he's saying, and the reason why the feds involved, you going across state lines. That's federal work right there. Get a lawyer, man. You want to get out your contract? Get a lawyer. Bro, you can't. Oh, my God, man. Bro, you give your life away. Bro, this man was still on probation. He had just got out the feds. I really don't understand it, bro. This man got all the talent in the world. Then they're alleging that the security guard was an off-duty cop. You know what he's gonna tell. And people trying to clown, bro. You can't clown nobody that get ran down on by 9 people, bro. I'm sorry, man. That don't count as no victim. You cannot clown a nigga for taking an L that got ran down on by 9 people and walked out alive. You can't. He did the smart thing. He made the smart move to help save his life. Period. That's exactly what he did. He made the smart move to help save his life. The smart move. So if you out here clowning, dude, something wrong with you. Because the fact that he got out alive should let everybody know just off top that he played it smart. Because one bad move, everybody could have been, it could have been a lot of bodies in there, man. So that's why I don't understand why people is clowning and shit. To me, that's not nothing to even clown. The fact that the man got out there alive is a blessing within itself. That's just you being smart. I don't know nobody that can have 8, 9 people run down on them and you outnumbered and you get out there alive, bro. No, ain't no way. Nigga, you signing that paperwork, you giving up the watch, the ring, all that shit, nigga. And you ain't saying nothing, nigga. You let them niggas just walk off. And hope they don't feel away. And you walk and you live on to see your family another day. You can get the jewelry back. You know what I'm saying? And then Gucci, he ain't even had to snitch. Nigga, if the shit is on tape and your armed security guard is an off-duty cop, he gonna tell anyways. He gonna tell anyways. Right? What do you think? You're at a studio? What do you think the people don't understand this? You're at a music studio. It's formal people that's at that studio. It's somebody who owns that studio that's in that studio. So they're gonna have you got probably producers, other people in that studio. Man, bro, everybody ain't gonna be quiet. Because everybody not from the streets. They don't move in that type of code, that type of way. Listen to what he said though.
As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items. One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness.
See, that right there? He said they choked somebody out to damn near unconsciousness. So that's going to add another charge. With the weapon too? Yeah, man. That's diabolical work, man.
Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged, for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm. His father, Lontrell Williams Sr., is alleged to have helped plan and execute the federal kidnapping as charged in the complaint.
Is that he done. They're going to try and give him a life sentence. He probably about 50 something. The father, that's his pops right there. His name is Mob Boss. I mean, bro, man, I don't understand that. I know it's $15 million on the table, but bro, you don't go about it like that, man. You get a lawyer. If you want to get out your contract, you get a lawyer. Damn, dog. Then you go to they saying you robbed him, and then here's the diabolical part of the whole shit. They say they robbed him and put the jewelry on social media right after that. And everybody want to call somebody on the internet a rat. How can you be a rat when these dudes is telling on themselves?
And as described further in the complaint, within hours of leaving the Dallas studio, a number of the defendants were on social media displaying some of the items that appeared to be the jewelry that had been robbed from the victims.
You can't make that up.
The charging document
Did
outlined...
you hear what he just said? That man said within hours of robbing them, they posting the shit online. That's crazy. You telling the cop, hey man, come get me right here. I'm right here, bro. Y'all come get me. I'm right here. I got the shit right here. Yeah, it's online. And then they calling the internet cats rats. Bro, you can't make this shit up, man. You can't make it up, bro. Can't make it up, man.
And some of the evidence, just some, establishing the defendant's roles in the federal offense. This is as follows. Electronic monitoring data placing Williams Jr. at the offense location, which would put him in violation of his home detention conditions. Cell phone records and license plate reader data corroborating the coordinated travel of multiple defendants from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas. Rental car records confirming Williams Sr. rented a vehicle that was used by the group. Surveillance footage from the offense location, a nearby office supply store, and a hotel where several of the defendants stayed following the offense. Fingerprint evidence as well that was recovered from the crime scene, matching at least two of the defendants. Social media posts by defendants displaying what appears to be stolen property just in the days following the offense. Greyhound bus records confirming the travel of multiple defendants from Dallas to Memphis the day after the offense.
Come on, man. Bro, they got travel records. Bro, they got when the feds come, man, they're not playing with you. When the feds come, they don't did their homework. They just said they got fingerprints, travel records, rent-a-car records, Greyhound records. I mean, damn, bro. Bro. That's crazy, man.
In this case, came to Dallas to conduct legitimate business, and they were met with firearms and violence as alleged in the charging document. This case should serve as a warning to others who believe that using violence and intimidation tactics to rob others in our community is a viable way to conduct business. I'm here to say that it is not, and that if you choose to do this, we will, together with our law enforcement partners here and the other ones in the Northern District of Texas, will bring you swiftly to justice.
Imagine being 26 years old. They tell you, yo, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Federal prison, you done. You done. You're going to spend the rest of your life in federal prison. You 26 years old, you're done, dog. Rest of your, you just got out the feds. They hit you with it. You did 3 years. And now they saying, no, it's over with. We're going to go ahead and pack you up. You out of here, bro. It's done. Yeah, it's done. It's done. We're going to go ahead. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and execute that on you, dog. You out of here, bro. Yeah, we need that. Bro, I don't understand it, man. I'll be honest with y'all, man. I don't understand that shit, man. You know what I mean? I don't understand it, bro. You know? And I don't understand the people that's clowning Gucci. How can you clown a dude that didn't know he was going to get ran down on by 9 dudes? He thinking, yo, this is a business meeting on the up and up. Man, didn't know he was going to get ran down on like that. Don't you think that if he knew he was going to get ran down on, he would have been prepared? Or he would have had more people there? Just think about it. I'm just saying, man. It's just a sad situation, man. I mean, crash out, man. Like, lose everything, bro. You know what I mean? The feds, they gonna seize the house, all the cars, all that shit. All the money. They finna seize everything these dudes got. You know? And y'all watch this, man. You know what I'm saying? To the person who says that hopefully this isn't true, my man. Did you not just hear what the goddamn Department of Justice just said, brother? Department of Justice just went out and did a press conference. Said they facing life, my brother. Life. And this man, he's still on probation. He just got out the feds. He wasn't even all the way free. And they told him, hey, you can't have a gun. Bro, they finna get him, he finna get life automatic. The father, because he's 50, his year's probably gonna add up to life. Then the rest of them cats, they probably looking at around 30, 40, 50. Let me know what y'all think, man. this type of stuff that's going on, man. Trying to tell cats, man, be smart with your life, how you moving, man. Who you putting yourself around. But when you get this positive message, people get mad at you and shit like that. They don't want you to tell the young cats the truth. Hey, stay away from this dumb shit. Don't do that. Don't be stupid. Don't give your life away. Don't throw your life to the devil. There's no win in that. There's no happily ever after in that shit. Nah, but when you say that, you a fuck nigga. I'm gone, man.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all click those links below. Subscribe to the podcast show. You can donate support to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, or buy that weight loss formula. All the links are below. Peace.